Hello, everybody out there, and welcome to another episode of the Talk That Talk Show with me, Barry Holmes. We are here for another episode of the Talk That Talk Show here on a Sunday night, and I want to thank everyone that's out there tuned in, whether you're on our Facebook live stream or whether you're tuned in on our YouTube post game, as always. But just want to thank everyone, as always, for tuning in. It's been a monumentous month. I feel like for the month of February, it's really flown by. When we talked our last episode, we were bringing in February with wishing my father a happy birthday. And here we are to close out, the February month. And I feel like, with Black History Month being as prevalent as it is, we definitely want to highlight the fact that Black History Month has come. And, one of the things that we were looking to in the store was trying to find some ways to, infuse some facts and get some awareness out there. And I feel like, we always make the joke that, Black History Month being the shortest month is something that's always forgotten. And, let's just, put it out there and saying, hey, hopefully, for our viewers out there, did you at least learn one Black history fact this month? I'm going to challenge the viewers out there, whether it be to, try and check out a Black establishment, whether it be a restaurant or some sort of small business. I want to challenge you guys to go out there and whatever the last couple of days, if you have not celebrated Black History Month, to go out there and challenge yourself and try to support a Black business. Maybe that's, reading a Black book or someone from a Black author. Going out there and trying to go to see a Black film, Black movie. Just do something to try and bring some awareness that you may not have known beforehand, right? I think that a lot of times, again, with it being just almost like the forgotten month, the forgotten holiday, it's so easy to just, pass it by and forget about it. But, I think that with us all together, bringing some sort of awareness, whether it's, doing some sort of fact finding or supporting some sort of local business, I think we all together can try and, bring some more awareness to Black History Month. Because I feel like, here we are and you're already at, February 23rd. And I feel like we've had little to nothing, told about Black History Month. I think the best we got was, the Kendrick Lamar Super Bowl performance, which we all seem to like, but we need a little bit more than that Kendrick Lamar performance. So if you have not celebrated Black History Month at all, if you've not gotten any type of awareness, I want you to go out there and educate yourself or go try and support some local Black business. All right, that's going to be my challenge to you guys. But also, since the last episode that I've talked to you guys, one of the things that we had happen was we had the Super Bowl. Howard Cott, big shout out to you and thank you for tuning in. I'm doing pretty great, bro. Thank you for asking. It's been a long time since I've seen you over at the alley, but one thing that you do know about me is I'm a diehard Chiefs fan. And the thing that we had, it was a tough pill to swallow. I think as a Chiefs fan or, to the vast majority out there, we definitely thought that we were going to come out victorious. However, in the back of my mind, leading up to that game, all you were hearing about was the refs helping out the Chiefs. And all the refs and all the Chiefs are so lucky and they've been given everything. And I think it's, you can't really pick and choose because after the narrative of the Super Bowl, it was, look what happens when the Chiefs don't have the help. Oh, look what happens when the refs aren't helping them. So my thing is, why would the refs help them all the way to the Super Bowl and then not help them in the Super Bowl, right? Is it just out of the realm of the possibility that maybe the Eagles were just flat out better than the Chiefs, right? Maybe the Chiefs were better than some of these other teams. It's not rocket science, right? But I think, again, and I was trying to explain this to a couple people, but I think what we have happened is, and what's going on with the Chiefs is really a representation of America as a whole. And I feel like, in America or in our society, we have people that don't like to see the same people winning, right? Oh, this guy's winning too much. I want to see someone else winning, right? And it doesn't become gratifying or doesn't become glorifying when you have these same people going through the process and winning year in and year out. It's always like people want to see you do better, but not too much better than them, right? And unfortunately, because the Chiefs have now reached the mountaintop and done it multiple times, people are just rooting for them to lose. I don't want to see them win again, right? And it just really it speaks to people in general of, wanting to see new people winning and not wanting to see the same people, as opposed to just appreciating the greatness behind winning all the time, right? And, I'll say this. The Eagles were flat out the better team. Shout out to my boy Alvin Baptiste, who's a diehard Eagles fan. The Eagles straight out pummeled the Chiefs. Whether you're talking about on the offensive line, where the Chiefs couldn't get any pressure, outside of Karlaftis, big shout out to him. I hope he gets his payday. The defensive line for the Eagles was absolutely unstoppable. I haven't seen the Chiefs look that dismantled since Alex Smith was the quarterback, right? But again, I think what we have to talk about here is not exactly what the Chiefs had out in the field, but what they didn't have. You have Rashee Rice, who's arguably one of the better receivers in the league when healthy, and you lose this guy in the beginning part of the season, and that undoubtedly changed our team, right? So I feel like when you look at the Chiefs and we look at how they were completely embarrassed by the Eagles, you just have to think about what are we going to look for moving forward. I think the Chiefs definitely have to answer the question as far as does Travis Kelce come back? Does he want to come back? And I think it's good that they put a timetable on making their decision so that, moving forward, they can either decide to go in the draft, go with Gray, who's been upcoming, or figure if they want to make a move for somebody. But there's definitely some depth in that tight end room going into the new year. I know a lot of people are hype on the tight end from Penn State, but who knows? I don't want to go that far in the future, but first things first, you got to figure out, is Travis Kelce going to come back? Then you got to figure out, how the fuck are we going to protect Patrick Mahomes? Because there's no way that Patrick Mahomes can be going out here running for his life day in and day out throughout the game and expect to have great results, right? And then I think the Chiefs need a little bit more help on the back end side of things. We saw McDuffie as one of the better cornerbacks, but I think if you compare him with another great cornerback, see if we can get a little bit better safety help, I think we'll see that some of those late times where they're trying to get to the ball and we're getting those separation from receivers, I think that separation will starting to tighten up if we can get some help in the secondary for the Chiefs. And then finally, I think they just got to get better at the skill position. I think Rashee Rice coming back will definitely help to make things better. But they're going to need more than that. I think DeAndre Hopkins, we saw, is not the D-Hop that we all know and love. Xavier Worthy, huge pickup. I think that if we can continue to utilize his speed, create creative packages for him, he's going to be an explosive player, kind of similar to what Tyreek Hill was for us a couple years back. But we saw a lot of great things from Worthy. But, to also piggyback off at the skill position at wide receiver, I think we got to figure out, what do we have with the running backs? Is Isaiah Pacheco going to return back to 100% healthy? Is Kareem Hunt, who we want to go forward with in the direction, getting older? But, I think that the Chiefs have fixable answers. You have teams in the NFL that don't have fixable answers, and that's why the Chiefs are headlining as the front runners to win next year, going into the next year. I think that for a lot of teams, again, they're in positions where it's going to be a lot difficult for them to become a winning football team or to get competitive again. But the Chiefs just came one game away. And really what happens is when you get to the biggest stage and you get to these big monumentous games, a lot of times you get exposed for what you are not good at. The Eagles got exposed the first matchup for not having a great defense against the Chiefs. The Chiefs actually wore t-shirts in the parade that said 0 sacks because that Philadelphia defense didn't get to Patrick Mahomes the first time around. Ask what happened in the second matchup, right? So I think that in the second matchup, we saw that the Eagles took that defense very seriously, and we also saw that the Chiefs are not the same team that they were. They're not going to go out and just crazy outscore teams and just put up 40, 50 points, right? That offense was not what it was used to be. And unfortunately, in the highest stage, they got exposed. Because realistically, when you hold Saquon at under 100 yards, you expect to win that game. But realistically, what we saw is a more balanced Philadelphia Eagles team. And you just got to tip your cap to them. Let's see if they can run it back like the Chiefs did, because it's not easy to repeat. But again, it's going to be a very interesting NFL situation going into the new year. But caps off to the Eagles. They are the champions. I'm not a sore loser. I have been used to a lot of great football from the Chiefs recently. But I think what happens is you have the people that equate the Taylor Swifties and the bandwagon Chiefs fans and can't separate them from the real Chiefs fans, all right? I remember losing to Marcus Mariota in a home playoff game. I remember losing to Andrew Luck on the road when we were up, 18, 20 plus points in that matchup. I remember losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers at home without scoring a touchdown. I remember losing to the Baltimore Ravens at home in a playoff matchup, all right? These are all things that I remember and all painful things that we had to go through. But that's what made those back-to-back Super Bowl wins even better, right? Because we went through that trial, that turmoil, just those terrible feelings of losing in the playoffs. Think about Patrick Mahomes. Outside of, losing to Tom Brady, right? The guy has had a lot of success. I think he really was able to rely on some of those God-given talents and freestyling. Now you have the team out there in the NFL, other teams that have caught up to that. And you can't just rely on that. He's going to have to develop as a quarterback. And now maybe we're going to see the best version of Patrick Mahomes, right? I think that, if you really want to put a futures bet in, from the way that Patrick Mahomes got his ass kicked in the Super Bowl, I think he's going to come out lighting it up this year. If I was a betting person, which I may be, I would definitely put in an MVP an MVP futures bet on Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes MVP of the next NFL season. That would be my bet, because there's two types of people. There's people that have the worst thing happen to them and they fucking quit. And those people are not the ones that advance in life, right? They stay where they're at. Then you have the people that have adversity that happened to them, and something just flips within them to overcome that adversity. And I have seen it with my own two eyes, as you all have out there, that Patrick Mahomes is someone with resilience in his body. So to have a situation in the Super Bowl where he has an outcome where you get the absolute belt to ass, all we're seeing is Philly going like this. Act like you've been there, right? But we can't expect Philadelphia to do that, right? It's Philadelphia. But hey, I'm not going to kick nobody's back, and they deserve to celebrate the way they do. If you want to pick up shit off the ground and eat it, you do it, Philadelphia. You are Super Bowl champions. Then, moving on, I tell you what, they should make me the commissioner, because I would fix that NBA All-Star Weekend. And you want to ask, hey, Barry, how would you fix All-Star Weekend? I'm going to tell you right now. There was too much Kevin Hart. My dad loves Kevin Hart, but I'm going to tell you right now, Bash, there was too much Kevin Hart. There was too much focus on, inside the NBA with TNT. Trust me, TNT, it was a monumentous point. I know that they're losing the NBA All-Star game, and there's a lot of big things that's happening and shifting in next year. But you still have to focus on the product, which is the basketball. Some of the best things we remember is in that All-Star game where they mess it up. It was supposed to be Jordan's last All-Star game, and Jermaine O'Neal fouls, right? We don't get those situations, right? So I think that in the All-Star game, you're going to have some basketball, right? You got to have that in play. Now, I think that Draymond's saying that it was boring and everything like that. I can't say that because I happen to like the 4-team team-at. I like the fact that you had the young guns and they almost had a chance against the OGs. And it made for a great matchup. I like the international stars. I like the new stars. I love the 4-team team-at, the 4-team, map of what we saw there. I just think that 40 points was just a little bit too short for him. Maybe double that. Put it to 80. You want to make it 100? Fuck it. They'll score 100 points in less than a half, right? So I think that if they can focus again on the product, which is basketball, then we will see that All-Star game will be a little more competitive. But we did see some defense in that 4-team team-at, that 4-team format, right? You saw Wembanyama having some blocks, right? We got to see the Kyrie Irving matchup, right? Going one-on-one. We got to see a little more defense, and I think that's something that you can build off of if you're the NBA, if you're the commissioner, Adam Silver. But, again, it seemed like the focus was not on the basketball. It was on the jokes from Kevin Hart. It was on the banter between Shaq and Charles. Again, we love that. It's great. It's almost like the ketchup and the mustard became more important than the burger. Does that make sense? And it's the burger is complementary, with the the mustard and the ketchup. You need to let all that comes together to make the burger, right? But you can't have those condiments standing alone and think that they're great. And I think that's where we have the All-Star game, and that's where the NBA lost it a little bit, right? So maybe sticking to the 4-team format. I do like that. Increasing the point total from 40 to maybe 80. I like that. I think that'll continue to build off the defense that we saw and give us a little more basketball plays. I want to see some alley-oop dunks. I want to see somebody get crossed the hell up. I want to see some fadeaway three-pointers. I want to see Steph Curry shooting those half-court shots like he does. I want to see him. You know what? I'll give you one. Who remembers one of the best times in All-Star games when Damian Lillard and Steph Curry are going three-pointer for three-pointer, going further and further back? We need that, right? But if you don't have enough points to allow for that to happen, then that 40 points goes quick, just like it did. And then you have the fillers. I'll bring you back again, right? Another thing that we have to have, that they kind of tapped in a little bit, was the Mr. Beast challenge. I love the fact that they brought somebody in to go and shoot against Damian Lillard to win, I think it was $100,000 or whatever it was. That shit was exciting. I would love to see them build on that. Who remembers in the 80s or the 90s, those old commercials like, NBA, it's fantastic. Appealing to that fan experience, bringing the fans out. I think that if they build off of that success with Mr. Beast, trying to do, some of those fan activities. Who knows? Maybe having 4 or 5 fans selected and having them going to shoot a half-court shot, and whoever gets the half-court shot first wins $100,000, right? I think something like that to bring the fan into the experience and have us all into it and watching us. That's what I think made that Mr. Beast challenge as dope as it was, right? Who wouldn't want to see someone beat Damian Lillard in a 3-point contest real quick to win $100,000? That shit was dope. But I think the NBA just needs to build more on that and add more basketball into it and less of the commentary and the talking in there, right? And then I think one thing that I do want to say that they can't have do is they cannot have Matt McClung come back as a four-peat NBA dunk champion. I love Matt McClung, but I think the thing that the commentary that was great, it was either Vince Carter, somebody had said it, that Mac McClung does dunk contest dunks, right? So he pulls the car out there. He has the dunk with the guy that's twirling around, right? He has all these prop dunks, right? I think part of the thing that made the NBA dunk contest dope was we had some of our best and most looked at NBA players competing in this dunk contest, doing dunks that they might do in the game, or doing authentic dunks without props. You know, seeing the Dominique Wilkins power dunking it the way he did. Vince Carter flowing through the air with such ease, right? These types of dunks by the best players in the game is what made it appealing. I'm sorry, I love Stephon Castle. He had a great dunk experience. But who were the other dudes? Jaren Jackson. Not Jaren Jackson. What's his name? I don't even know his name. Something Jackson Jr. from the Bucks. Okay, Andre Jackson. Okay, that's what his name is. Andre Jackson Jr. from the Bucks, right? Not exactly your household name. The dude from the Bulls. They say he's a rookie player. Great player, but is he a household name? You want to get the dunk contest better? Go get John Morant. Go get Zion Williamson. Go get these biggest name guys and let's get some incentives behind it. You want to win $5 million untaxable to the winner of the slam dunk contest. I don't know. Is $5 million enough? You know, how much are you willing to prioritize the dunk contest? Money talks, right? I think if we can get that bar up to maybe $10 million, you win the dunk. I think you'll get LeBron James to go out there for one time. $10 million. You know, you want these big time dunkers. You want the big names. Put the cheddar up. How much did they pay Kevin Hart to do that shit at All-Star Weekend? You mean to tell me they couldn't put that money towards the prize pool so that maybe we can get John Morant out there? I'm telling you, you get the best names in the NBA in there to dunk, then you're going to see. I mean, look, part of the reason why we loved that dunk contest before, you got to see Kobe Bryant in the warm-up. You got to see Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Harold Miner, all the best dunkers of all time. They all did it. But without that allure of the actual award itself, we are in this new millennium. We are on this new generation, and people want the money. $10 million to the winner of the dunk contest. I know the NBA got it. Put that $10 million up, and let's see if we can get some better people in there, right? Then, I think the thing that will also help out with All-Star Weekend is adding some other categories in there to kind of help out. And I think that, when you're talking about the dunk contest, you're reliant on the players and the name of those best players to push that dunk contest, right? What if you bring out some of the best games on the playground into All-Star Weekend, right? I'm saying, what if we had a knockout tournament? Give me 10 of the best shooters, all the 10 top 3-point percentage shooters, right? Get the top 10 of them and have them do a knockout. And for people that don't know what knockout is, you have a line of players, and the first person in line shoots. If they make the basket, they hand it off to the next person in line, and the next person in line has to make it before the person in front of them makes the shot, right? So you have this continuous line, and if the person behind you makes a shot before you're able to either successfully make the jump shot or rebound it and make the layup, you are knocked out of the game, and the last person standing wins the game. I think if we had a knockout type game and you add knockout in the All-Star weekend, who wouldn't want to see the top East, all the top East three-point shooters in a knockout challenge? Who wouldn't want to see the top winner from that East battle go against the top 10 from the West, top 10 three-point shooting percentages? I think that would be awesome. Then you get 20 guys in there. That could easily be a 15 to 20 minute segment that I would enjoyably watch. And I think that would be exciting. All right. Put that in there. Write that down, Adam Silver. I want a knockout tournament. Then another one that we all like to play when we were on the courtyard. 2-ball. All right. It's almost like it's around the world, but it's played with a rebounder. Right. So so I go and I start, and I'm at the other side of the baseline. You're shooting against someone at the same exact time, and you guys are going in opposite directions to try and get to the opposite spot. So it's 5 shots, 5 spots, right? Each person has to try to make the shot and make it a way around. Once you've completed all 5 shots, take the ball, make a layup, pass it to your rebounder. Your rebounder now has to make those 5 shots around the key. And whatever team makes those 10 shots first, you're the winner of 2-ball. That is an absolute hood classic. That is a street ball classic. You get 10 people, all right? Let's get, 5 pairs of NBA players. Who wouldn't want to see that 2-ball game? I think that would be pretty exciting. I'm just saying, if you want different results, you gotta move differently. And right now, the skills challenge ain't it. Chris Paul and Wembanyama might have ruined the skills competition by trying to do the quick shot. Me and Jeff were laughing. We were laughing hysterically. What were they thinking? Imagine the people that were in the stands paying to watch the skills competition, and you have Chris Paul and Wembanyama trying to cheat the system because of the rule that if you shoot them all and you miss them, then you have to go to the next one, right? So I think that if we can negate stuff like that and not try and reinvent the wheel and utilize games that we as the culture like playing, then it will become much relatable to the people at home watching. Like, damn, they have a 2-ball competition? I played that. I'd love to watch that. Knockout? My kid plays knockout in gym class. Steph Curry's playing that game, right? So, again, if we want different results, we got to move different. And I think that if you can tap into basketball culture and the things that we like to play outside of the actual 5-on-5 version of basketball, that is an easier way to tap into the excitement of the game of basketball and give a better product than what we've got already at All-Star Weekend, right? Then, you guys may have already known, but I am leaving for Nationals. It's why I have this jersey on right now. I am leaving for Nationals on Saturday. Big shout out to my boy Brian Spawn, who he'll be joining our team. This is going to be the first year that we're going in March, all right? Every year we usually go in July in the summertime. It just happens to work out that way because I'm working in school, or I was working in the schools, and the summertime is when you're out of school. But like I said, I'm working at the dispensary, and that's all year round. So really, it didn't matter when I went, but it worked out this way because we wanted to plan to try to go around Mardi Gras. And now we are going to be going to Mardi Gras after bowling in in Baton Rouge. We're going to be going to New Orleans and having a good time as a family and experiencing Mardi Gras as adults and it's going to be an awesome time. But to get to that point, we have to talk about the business aspect, right? And that is the bowling. And last year was an underwhelming year for me. I put up a set of 488, disgusting, 503, and 522. I did get better as the tournament progressed, but it was an underwhelming performance. I wound up shooting 15-13 over 9 games. And I know I'm way better than that. Tanya, I know you're watching out there. I'm way better than that, all right? Going into this in 2023, I went 509, 439, 416 for 1364. So 2023 was arguably it definitely was my worst ever Nationals performance. So last year was a step up from 2023. But I want to take it back to the first year that I went to Nationals in 2022. And I shot 618, 532, and 435 for 1585. So that was the highest that I ever did. And what that showed me was I did really good out the gate, but I did not get better as the tournament progressed. Last year, I didn't start good, but I did get better as the tournament progressed. So the first year I had 1585, then last year I had 1513. So after looking at these numbers, looking at myself, looking within, and saying, what is going to be some feasible goals that I can achieve at Nationals at Baton Rouge? And I wrote some down here. I wrote down about 3 or 4 goals that I have for myself, and I want to share them with you guys out there, whether you're on YouTube, tuning in after our live performance, or whether you're tuning in live on Facebook with Terry Chin, Tanya Finkley, and Pops, right? I want to shoot at least one 600 series. And I want to shout out Majestic Lanes for this, because Majestic Lanes helped us out in trying to find, maybe it's not the exact pattern, but they tried to find something comparable that we could practice on so that we had some confidence going into Nationals. And I'll say this, I was able to shoot my highest sports shot ever score of 274 in the practice last Thursday. So, I definitely feel a great bill of confidence going into, this weekend, knowing what we have to accomplish at Baton Rouge. But I think it is very feasible, and I want to accomplish the goal of shooting a 600 series out at Nationals. I only did it once in nine sets. Yeah, 9 sets. I've only done it once. I think that's something that can be done this weekend. Then something that I want to do that I've shown over at Unholy, when I shot 1100 over the span of 5 games, I want to shoot 1600 over the span of the 3 sets. So over 9 games, I want to shoot 1600. Now I know it's on the sports shot, and it's only averaging about 177, but it's completely doable for me. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility to ask myself to average 177 on the sports shot. I think that's doable. I know the sports shot is designed for us to miss, but I don't think that I'm the same bowler that I was in 2023 or 2024. I think I'm a much improved version of myself, and I've been able to adapt and figure the game out a little bit quicker on the lanes. So, judging where I went back in my first year, back in 2022, I think that it's more than possible for me to shoot 1600 across those 9 games this weekend. And then, just some personal goals for myself. I just want to make sure every shot counts. I don't want to throw any shots away. I want to make sure every shot I'm getting a pin. All right. You're not going to see any blank shots from me. All right. Every shot must count. And then I just want to stay loose out there. I know we're over at Nationals. I know it's the biggest stage for bowling, but I just want to continue to have fun. I think what has helped my game and what's really helped me to have some great score this season has been having fun out there. It's tough because this season has been one of the most challenging seasons to date. I think on Thursday night we are officially in last place. We are worse than nobody. We're in 38th place out of 38. We are absolute dog shit. But I think that it's tough because when you look at the numbers and you look at the fact that Pops is over average, I'm shooting over average, TK shooting over average, Tori shooting, our whole team has shot over average and has increased the average from when they started, and yet we just don't have the results. That's the toughest thing about this season. It's tough to say that this season I've shot my highest ever. I shot 780 and we didn't win anything. We didn't win the game. We didn't win, and we didn't win points. I think that is a microcosm of what this entire season has been. And I just think that for all of us in the Holmes family that's felt the frustration of not winning in league, not winning Monday nights, not winning Thursday nights, that frustration, we can take it out at nationals. We can do something positive. We can go out there and achieve something. All right? I know that we have not gotten the results that we've wanted in league this season. But Nationals is right around the corner, and it's the perfect time to right the ship. It's the perfect time to figure it out. It's the perfect time to get some score in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So I'll say this. Thank you all for tuning in to the Talk That Talk show every single time we hop on the mic. You know you're getting my undivided attention, 100% authentic vibes. Everything I'm thinking in this cabeza is coming out mi boca. All right? I'm telling you right now, this, like my father said, has been a very tough season. But it has not stopped us from accomplishing the things that we want to accomplish. Has it stopped Dad from getting better and getting some better score? Has it stopped TK from getting countless front nines, front tens? Has it stopped Tyree from getting a better arsenal and upgrading his equipment? We're not taking those losses and feeling sorry for ourselves. Of course we're people. We're athletes, but of course we're humans first. So it does get frustrating, when we looked at the numbers, and I think in 6 weeks we took a total of 8 fucking points. How embarrassing is that? We got a 9-point system every week, and in 6 weeks we took a measly 8 points. I know that's not how Dad is. I know that's not how I am. I know that's not who TK is. That's not who Tori is. That ain't even who Tyree is. It's just the way the cards have been dealt to us. But we're not letting it stop us. We're going down to nationals. We're gonna do some big things, man. We appreciate everybody that's tuned in, whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Stitcher. Guys, I saw a quote from Rick Pitino, and this is my last thing before I hop off. But he was talking to his kids, and he said, "Where were you guys raised where you will face adversity and you don't know how to act? You don't know how to suck it up and get it done." It spoke to me because Rick Pitino is one of my favorite coaches when he was with Louisville. Always recruiting some of the best New Jersey talent to go play over there. And, I just love the fire that he coached with. And something about that quote that he, spoke to his team when they came back and won at halftime, it spoke to me. In life, you're going to get some adversity. It's going to get tough. Not everyone gets everything completely handed to them. And when they do, they don't appreciate it. It's when you gotta grind for it. It's when, when sometimes when you've had that soda and you haven't had it for a while and you're like, that just feels, that tastes good. Because you haven't had that taste in a long time. I can't tell you how bad me and my family are itching to feel a win again. It sucks to go in each and every week and you're getting shit on. But you know what? When we get that win again, I promise you guys, we are not a team that you do not want to get hot. Because once we get the confidence and once we start striking, it is over. It's over. So, keep believing, guys. This is me speaking to my team right now. Keep believing. We ain't out here yet. I know it's week 6. I know we don't got no fucking points. You think I give a shit? Hell no. We still fighting. If you want to give up, you can give up. But I ain't giving up. And I know once we put that talk show jersey on, we ain't giving up. And this right here, this weekend, Nationals is a statement. We ain't giving up. And on that note, I'm out of here.